The Old Wizard and the Young Boy. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived an old wizard named Alden. He was known for his incredible powers and vast knowledge of the world. But Alden lived in solitude atop a hill, rarely seen by the villagers. In the same village lived a curious boy named Finn, who always dreamed of learning magic. He would watch Alden from afar, imagining what it would be like to be a great wizard. But no one had ever dared to approach Alden's home. One day, Finn gathered all his courage and decided to visit Alden. With a deep breath, he started up the hill, determined to ask the wizard to teach him. His heart raced as he neared the old wizard's door. When Finn knocked on the door, Alden opened it slowly, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. The old wizard looked at Finn with a kind smile and asked, "Why have you come, young one?" Finn stammered, "I want to learn magic." Alden invited Finn inside and offered him a seat by the fire. The cottage was filled with strange books, glowing potions, and mysterious artifacts. "I will teach you," said Alden, "but only if you are patient and dedicated." Excited, Finn nodded eagerly, ready to learn powerful spells and enchantments. But Alden handed him a broom instead. "Start by sweeping the floor," he said. Finn frowned, confused, but reluctantly obeyed. For days, Alden gave Finn menial tasks, sweeping, cleaning, and fetching water. Finn began to grow frustrated, wondering when he would learn real magic. But each time he asked, Alden simply smiled and told him to be patient. One day, after completing his chores, Finn asked, "When will I learn magic?" Alden smiled and said, "Magic is not just in spells. It's in the patience and discipline you are learning now." Finn sighed, not fully understanding. Time passed, and Finn grew stronger and more disciplined from his daily tasks. He learned to work hard without complaint, though he still yearned for magic. One evening, Alden finally handed him a small, glowing stone. "This is your first magical lesson," Alden said. "Carry this stone with you wherever you go." Finn looked at the stone curiously, but didn't understand how it worked. Alden told him, in time, its purpose will become clear. For weeks, Finn carried the stone, but nothing happened. He grew impatient again, thinking it was just a useless rock. But Alden reminded him, "Trust the process." One day, while Finn was out gathering firewood, a fierce storm suddenly rolled in. The wind howled, and the rain poured down, making it hard to see. Finn panicked, unsure of how to find his way back home. As he fumbled for direction, the stone in his pocket began to glow brightly. To his surprise, it illuminated the path in front of him, guiding him back to safety. For the first time, Finn realized that magic could be subtle yet powerful. Finn returned to Alden's cottage, soaked but filled with wonder. "The stone led me home," he exclaimed. Alden smiled and said, "Magic comes to those who are ready to receive it." From that day on, Finn approached his lessons with a new sense of patience and curiosity. He began to notice small magical signs in everyday life, the way the wind carried whispers or how the moonlight shimmered. Alden's words finally made sense to him. As the months passed, Alden began teaching Finn simple spells. Finn learned how to control the elements in small ways, lighting a fire with a snap of his fingers or calming the wind. But Alden always reminded him, magic is a responsibility, not just a power. One day, the village was struck by a drought, and the crops began to wither. The villagers were worried, and Finn wanted to help. He asked Alden if he could use magic to bring rain. Alden shook his head. "Magic cannot solve all problems," he said. "Sometimes, nature must take its course, and we must find other ways to help." Finn was disappointed, but trusted Alden's wisdom. Instead of using magic, Finn worked with the villagers to dig new wells and save water. Though it was hard work, Finn felt a sense of accomplishment. He began to understand that magic wasn't always the solution to life's challenges. One evening, after a long day of work, Finn sat by the fire with Alden. The old wizard handed him a cup of tea and said, "You've learned much, but the greatest lesson is yet to come." Finn looked up, curious about what that lesson could be. The next morning, Alden announced that it was time for Finn's final test. He handed Finn a small, locked box and said, "Take this to the highest mountain and open it there." Finn didn't understand, but he trusted Alden and set off on his journey. The journey to the mountain was long and difficult, with many obstacles along the way. Finn encountered rivers, rocky paths, and steep climbs, but he pressed on. Each challenge reminded him of the patience and perseverance he had learned. At last, Finn reached the top of the mountain, exhausted but triumphant. He sat down on a rock, gazing out at the vast landscape below. With trembling hands, he opened the box. Inside the box was a single, small seed. Confused, Finn wondered why Alden had sent him on such a long journey for something so simple. But then he remembered Alden's words, "The greatest lesson is yet to come." Suddenly, the seed began to glow in his hand, and Finn felt a surge of understanding. The seed represented potential, the magic of growth, and the importance of nurturing something small. Finn realized that true power came from patience, care, and dedication. Finn planted the seed in the rich soil of the mountain and watched as it began to grow. In moments, it blossomed into a beautiful, strong tree, its branches reaching toward the sky. Finn smiled, knowing he had completed his final lesson. When Finn returned to the village, Alden was waiting for him at the foot of the hill. The old wizard smiled and said, "You are no longer my student, but an equal in knowledge." Finn bowed respectfully, understanding the depth of Alden's teachings. With his newfound wisdom, Finn became a guide to the village, sharing what he had learned. He taught the villagers the importance of patience, hard work, and respect for nature. The village flourished, not just through magic, but through the strength of its people. Alden eventually retired, content that his knowledge had been passed on. He watched as Finn became a wise and beloved figure in the village, guiding them with both magic and wisdom. The old wizard knew that the future was in good hands. Finn continued to nurture the seed he had planted on the mountain, visiting it often. The tree grew taller each year, a symbol of the lessons he had learned. And so, the legacy of the old wizard and the young boy lived on for generations. Moral of the story: true magic lies not in power, but in patience, discipline, and wisdom. Every small act, when nurtured with care and dedication, can grow into something extraordinary.